Hi there, my name is Ian Malloy. You're not going to see me in this video because otherwise I would want to be changing the angle of this camera and I don't know how to do it. Well, I can't do it on this phone, so you're just going to be rather looking at my allotment here. The allotment, well, is in my name, that I rent from this association of family gardens, that's called officially. And I share the work on here with my wife and 2 kids. So we're going to be starting off looking at the issue of connection to nature. So we're going to start off by listening to nature. So I'm not going to say anything for a bit, and you should be then focusing your attention just on what you can hear. So let's start. So I don't think you're hearing everything I hear here, but I'm hearing birds. I'm hearing a crow, great tit, greenfinch, blue tit, long-tailed tit flying around. But of course, this comes from the bird watcher part of me that wants to name the things, and I like to know what these birds are I can hear, training myself to remember what birds are from their sound. But I'm going to go into silence again here, so you can not just reflect on what are these things you can hear, but just focus on the sensations, focus on the interplay on the sound with your ears. So let these sounds like massage your brain. So listen again. Alright, so maybe you heard a neighbour working on her allotment. They're building a new road, the other side of the allotments, maybe you heard something from there. Or the birds. So anyway, that was the first part. Now I'd like us to focus on what you can see. So just look ahead of you there. What is it that your eyes are drawn to? What I'm going to do is I'm now going to bring you in closer so we can see the better textures. So right in front of us we see an apple tree. It's the biggest apple tree there is on this allotment of mine. And look at the texture of this bark here. Now this tree, I've done a lot of work on this tree. A lot of pruning. It wasn't looked after before, and it wasn't growing so well as a result. But now I've done a lot of work bringing structure to it, and I've really borne the fruits of this. Every year it's absolutely teeming with a glut of apples. And I tell you what, they're my favourite apples. They're really nice, really sweet, but also a bit tart as well. So yeah. You can also see the crocuses. But you may notice something else here. Dzień dobry. Just heard a neighbour. A suspicious looking hill. This reminds me that this is an allotment which is in my name, but I'm sharing this piece of land with other living things, such as a mole. In fact, it hardly ever comes here, but sometimes a hill appears. Ooh, hello. Here we have something I didn't expect to see today. Look. The first bee of the year. Now, so we're focusing on what we can see. Now I'd like to focus on what we can feel. So you see there's many different things we can be feeling on this allotment here. But I like that we just stay where we are on the ground here. I put my hands here. So here you can see some leaves from last year, from the autumn. I feel it, it's got like a bit of a hard texture. Bit of a papery kind of texture. And I'm going to be feeling the land. I already feel it in my left knee because it's a bit damp. And now I can feel, well, dampness in my left knee as it's touching the floor. I'm feeling strain in my hips a bit and my right knee as I'm kind of half squatting here. But externally I can feel individual blades of grass and it's kind of an uneven floor here because it's like a bit of a clump of grass here, you see. So I feel it's like higher on my fingers, it's lower down where the palm of my hand is, and I feel a bit of water, just a slight dampness in the earth, not in the grass, but in the ground underneath. So far we've been connecting with what we can hear, with what we can see. Here I'm connecting with what I feel. But taking this theme of connection a bit deeper is interesting because you see here an individual drop of water. Now the question is, where's this water come from? There's water which has come on the ground. It's been raining a bit lately. So of course the water came from the sky, from clouds. So in touching the ground, I'm touching the water, and in touching the water, I'm touching the clouds from which the water came. I'm touching the rain that fell here. Or maybe the snow, it snowed a bit recently. And take that a bit further. The water came into the clouds because it went into the clouds. It went up, it rose up from the air. So maybe from the Baltic Sea, or the North Sea, or from the Atlantic Sea, a bit further afield. Or maybe it came from rivers, from a lake. Or maybe it came from people pouring drink onto the ground, spilling things. If you have kids like I do, this happens, and it evaporates. So we're connecting with this water here on the floor. And in doing so, we're connecting with the rivers and the lakes, and all water which evaporates, which then goes into the clouds in order to come places like here. So let's take that the next step. We're connecting with this water, but we're also connecting with that was in the water. So think, what is in water? Maybe thinking of, like in that video, a waterfall. Maybe there was that video, can't remember who did it. Some water was coming from a waterfall, and maybe that ended up it went into a stream, and some of that would have evaporated, and maybe then came here. Just think that. But what was in the water? Maybe the running stones that the water goes over, or living things in the water. the fish, the trout, the cod, the trawlers, the people doing their work in the water, plankton, seaweed, cormorants, gannets, albatrosses, whales. So you see, in this simple act of connecting with that which is where we are, with all our senses, we're also connecting with all other organisms across the globe. And as a sign of the labour, you can maybe hear that the rubbish is being collected from the bins from the college next to the allotments. So that's a kind of a sign I've got work to do here, got some digging to do. So I wish you a good day.